What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but we've been busy. So we have brought y'all to a large ranch in Central Texas. It's probably about 1,000 acres. It's got multiple house sites all around, and we have brought a new metal detector to review and show you guys. So this is the DetectTrek M55. This is a detector that's geared mostly for beginners and those intermediates. And all I've done off camera is cut the seals. We're going to open this up together because I've literally not even heard of this detector until a few weeks ago when they sent it to me. And I was wondering why the box was so heavy. I cut the seals and took a little peek, and I'm going to show y'all why the box is so heavy. So we're opening this together. The reason why it's so heavy is because it comes with its own case, and then you'll get a digger. This is a big plus right here. So if you're just starting out, a lot of people will just buy a metal detector and they think they can get started with a standard garden trowel, maybe from a big box hardware store, but you really need something that's a little tougher, and they have included that. You do not want to try to hunt with garden trowels and get discouraged. So we've got headphones. What else we got here? We got the arm cuff and the upper shaft. And we got the middle shaft, and the lower is on that one. Here's your control housing, charger, cable ties. You will also get with this machine an 11-inch coil. Most of the beginner models don't come with a coil this large, so you're getting an 11-inch coil with this machine. So we're gonna put this together for you, show you how it goes together, and then we're gonna do some air testing, and then we're gonna take this out and actually use it on this ranch at some places that have not even been hunted yet. Alright, so when you're putting this machine together, this is one of the newer ones with the square shafts that collapse. So unlike the other models that you have the 3-piece rod, this still has multiple pieces, but these are all quick connect. So here is your middle and lower rod, and these are just quick clips, so you just pull these out, and then this will go into your grip, and it also has the cam that locks it down. And your arm cuff is adjustable, and it's already attached. Unlike a lot of machines, you'll have to put this on separate. They've already got this done for you. Same thing with the cam locks. Get it where you want it. I like to have these arm rests right on my forearm muscle here. Alright, so we got that done. And it appears that this thing is just going to slide on and lock for you. This machine is rechargeable, so we're not going to have to put batteries in it. This is going to be, like most machines, waterproof all the way up to here, but this, I don't believe you can submerge this unit right here. So that just slides on there, and you're good to go with that. So when we put this coil on, I want to show y'all something that I see a lot of beginners do that you shouldn't be doing. You would think putting a coil on is straightforward, but there are some tricks to it. Alright, so a lot of the coils have a rubber washer that goes in here, and these ears will clamp to it, and it keeps it from slipping. This one, it's made on here, and it has more of a serrated plastic to grip. So we're going to put the coil on, and once we get this on, I'm going to show you where a lot of people mess up. So I do like how that goes together. When you get your coil on, and you start to wrap your cable, you need to wrap it over the shaft the first time, and you don't want it just loose hanging around. So let me go ahead and get this thing adjusted. We can see how quick this adjusts to my height. So what you want to do is you want to start, don't start with your coil hanging down like this with your wire, because it's going to flop around. It could give you a false signal on the back side of your coil, no matter what machine you're using. You want to start over the top, and you want to wrap this thing, and it just simply plugs in, and you can get the right amount of wraps on it so you can have enough slack. And you just tighten up the locking collar, and that is how you wrap your coil wire. You don't want this thing you don't want to just run it up here and plug it in and let it hang around. Alright, so we got it together, and I ran through the features. I had to get the manual out for the memory mode. I wasn't sure how this machine worked. All the other features are pretty standard. The manual it's a really nice manual. Easy to understand. I've seen some that leave a lot to be desired. Alright, so we're going to run through the features of this machine and how everything works. So you got your power. Obviously, we're going to go ahead and turn it on. We can take that screen protector off. Alright. So I have this in memory mode, and in order to change the modes, you hit the mode button, and that's pretty much all that does. It goes from all metal to discrimination, memory, and jewelry. And really all you're doing when you're going through the different modes is changing the discrimination level, the notches or whatnot. So we're going to go with all metal. So what you see up here at the top, this is everything it's going to accept. Here's your little icons to kind of give you a visual representation. So FE, if you failed science class, FE stands for iron on your periodic table. That's going to be your nails, your screws, and stuff that you normally don't want to dig. And then you're getting up into gold rings, your nickels, pull tabs, and the higher you go, you start getting into coins 4, 5, and 6. So when you're in all metal mode, it's going to get everything. That's the way I hunt. But if you're just beginning, you're probably going to want to notch out iron, and maybe you don't want to get nickels and pull tabs right away. But just know you'll be missing gold jewelry if you start skipping the number 2. So we're going to go into discriminate mode. So you just push it once, and you can see discriminate. And now we've got nickels canceled out. You got iron and nails. And the way you add and remove stuff is with the plus and the minus. So now I've got it back. This is basically all metal the way it's set now. So we're just going to take out iron. Over here on this side, you've got your sensitivity. And you probably want to run it around, if you're in town, in the city, you're probably going to run it around 3. When you get out on these big ranches, we might be able to, we'll test it. We'll see if we can go up higher. But on the sensitivity, you basically hit sensitivity, it'll flash, and then you can adjust it with plus and minus. So we're going to put it back to where it came from the factory, 3 bars. Now when you're scanning and you get a signal, your depth gauge is going to start lighting up these icons over here. And it depends on the target size. These things aren't super accurate, but it's here if you need it. And this is your volume, and down here in this corner is your battery. It came from the factory fully charged. We haven't charged this yet, but this is a 4,000 milliamp lithium ion battery in this thing. I believe it's got like 35 hours of run time, so you're good to go for, you can hunt with this 2 or 3 days, long days, before you have to charge it. Alright, something else you get on this machine that you don't get on these other machines is this has a backlight. And all you got to do is just push it once, it comes on, push it again, it goes off. You're not going to be able to see it in this full sun, but trust me, you're going to like having a backlight if you hunt late evenings or even after dark. The pinpoint will go over out in the field. It's not momentary. You push it once, it's in pinpoint mode. You push it again, it goes out of pinpoint mode. But we can show you that when we actually start using the machine. All right, I wanted to take a look at the headphones they sent, so we got them out. And these are decent headphones. They have the volume control on the cord, so you can control the volume on these or on the machine with the volume button. So you're good to go here. They sent you a nice set of headphones. And the case is more of a backpack because this metal detector collapses. So it'll fit in a backpack. It's like the Manicore. You can see how I've got mine collapsed right now. So this one can do that, and they're just quicker and easier to store if you're going around. You just pull your cams, smush it together, lock them down, and you can get it short like this for riding in the back seat or putting in your backpack. All right, so we're going to do some air testing because I'm going to show y'all some stuff, and this is super important for beginners. Not only are we going to air test this, I'm going to explain a couple of things that I feel is important if you're just starting out. So like I said, these numbers correspond to your targets. So you got iron, and it starts with the pull tabs and the nickels, and then it just goes up to your quarters and your silver dollars and stuff. And that's just based on conductivity of the metal. So this is just a general, it's just what the metal detector thinks it is. It's not exact. So we have iron discriminated out. Remember, I went to, this is we got the mode. So if you want to take off a target, you just hit the plus and minus. So some metal detectors, if you just hit plus and minus, it changes sensitivity. This one you have to hit sensitivity. So if you hit plus and minus when you're out swinging, you're changing what this machine will pick up or not pick up. So watch out for that. So I've got it set where we have no nails, and then we're going to get everything else. So what we're going to do is grab a nail, and as you can see, it's not giving me a signal. And this is a piece of rusty roofing tack. So we're good to go there. It stays silent. Now if we get a key is brass. It's going to be up in here somewhere. And these numbers, the VDI number here should light up. So that is I can't really read it from the side. That's a 72. So these are your different levels of discrimination, just so you can add them and remove them. But these numbers go from 1 to 99, and they're more of a fine version of this scale. So if this key reads 72, then a quarter is going to read even higher. So let me find my quarter stick. So now you're in the 87s, and what you'll do after you hunt for a while, you'll start to get these memorized. So you'll know that a silver dime is 81. Now, let's get to the important stuff about this machine. And this is something I'm real picky about on machines. It's called recovery speed. That's how fast that this machine resets after you go over a target. So what you're doing when you're discriminating out is you have this baseline of audio, and the machine's not just ignoring iron, it's pulling the volume down even though you can't hear it. And when it goes past it, it lets it go. And this resetting between each target is called recovery speed, and most beginner machines are really slow, and you have to scan slow. But on this machine, what I've already tested off camera is this machine is pretty dang fast for a beginner model. So you can see how fast I'm scanning this key, and it is beeping both directions that fast. And that is the key, not just this key, no pun intended. So what you have is you have that beep both directions, and you need that. You need to know when you get the beep both directions, it's time to dig. If you get some trash under there and you can get it to blip but not the other direction, like if it went like that, you need to check because it may be so with the recovery speed, you can sweep a little faster. Now, you'll watch a ton of videos, you'll read a lot of books that say go slow. And what that means, it doesn't mean you have to swing slow. It means don't move in a forward motion fast. That's the part where you go slow. That's what I try to teach everybody if they're just starting out. But the swing has to have a little speed to it. That's how these machines work. They do not work. You can't just hold this over a target and get a signal. These machines have to be moving. That's just the way these new machines work. So this has some good recovery speed, and you should be able to sweep it about as fast as you see this air test stick. And when they say go low and slow, they mean a forward motion. You don't want to be running along making this big sawtooth pattern in the ground because you're going to miss stuff in between. So we are going to start using this on this home site. This is an old home site on this ranch. We found it because you can see the foundation rocks, some old brick. So we're actually going to run this through the paces and see if we can find something and do some live digs. And once I turned it on, I scanned a few feet. Now right here, this is one thing I wanted to show y'all about recovery speed, and that pulling the volume down and letting it go, that's when it goes above the audio threshold and it's reset, and that's called overshoot. So you can hear I got a beep, but you can't get it to repeat. It sounds like it's repeating, but if you watch close, it's not. It's only giving you a beep in one direction. Now when you start out, you need to stay motivated, so you need to make sure you're digging good targets often. As you get more advanced, you don't want to be skipping stuff. So we would investigate this if we were on a battlefield. But if you can't get that consistent beep, 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 it's just one direction only, for now you could skip them and move on until you get a good solid beep in both directions. So we're gonna see if we can't find one. And I already know this is trash because I did check it with a Manicore, so we're good there. So you can sleep at night knowing we didn't miss a gold ring or something. So let me wander around, see if we can't find something to live dig, a good solid signal. All right, so we've gotten a signal, and you can hear it's both ways. Now if you get over here and look at the screen, you'll see we're getting a 77. And you'll also notice we have different tones. This machine has multiple tones. That's just something else to help you identify where you're at on this scale with your targets. So you got your 78, that's your VDI number. And it's flashing up here so you know we're in the upper range of coins. But we are getting two tones. We're getting like a mid-tone, which is the middle of the scale. The low tones are down here. And then you'll have the high tones up here. But you're getting a mid and a high. But you can see I'm getting that both directions. However, since we got two different tones, this may be junk, but this is a decent signal. This one is worth digging. So now we're going to use our pinpoint. So you turn it on, it's going to give you like a threshold. And when you get this thing as high as you can get it and loud, by moving it in like an X shape over your target, that's where you know to dig. It's going to be in the middle of the coil. So we're going to push this once. And then we'll turn it off. So what it's telling us is it's right here. So you got just that tone. And then so once you get past it, it's going to go off. As you get closer to the center, it detunes itself and it makes the signal smaller so you can get a more precise location on where to dig. And that is how you pinpoint. So we're going to dig right here, and this is, as a beginner, this is something you really want to focus on, is your pinpointing, because if you dig giant holes for 1 penny, you're going to get discouraged. So you really want to watch your pinpoint so you can dig as small as hole as possible, find your target as fast as you can get it. So let's just, now we're going to live dig and see exactly what we've got here. I'm going to say this is not going to be a keeper of a signal. Hopefully I'm wrong, but since we had 2 different tones, I'm going to say it's probably crumpled up metal or something. And the digger that comes with this machine is good, but since we're on a ranch, I'm going to use my long handle today. We're not going to use their digger. And to speed things up so this video don't drag out, we're going to go ahead and use a Garrett Pro pointer to pinpoint this. Alright, so what we have is a big piece of tin. If you want to come around here and look at that, we'll probably just pry that out off camera and throw it away. So sometimes tin is going to give you a good signal, but you have to check all these signals out. At least that gave us a good signal both directions. That was worth checking out. So we're going to keep roaming around, see if we can't find some coins or something. All right, so now we got something that's in the 60s, but again, we're getting 2 different tones, so don't get all excited. But you can see we got it beeping both directions. Now we're going to pinpoint. I'm going to say we're going to go right here. Maybe it's on top of a rock. Get out of this. This looks like sandstone, maybe part of one of the piers. I don't think that's under it. We got a coin with this metal detector. So these are the zinc pennies. As you can see, it's corroding. Now, from what we understand, there may have once been a trailer house here at one point, so that's probably why we're getting a modern penny, even though we're out in the middle of nowhere. But these zinc pennies is why you'll get that the 2 tones, because they'll corrode and they're just junk money. But it found a penny. So one thing I want to just say again, and this metal detector company said I could say whatever I wanted to about this machine. This is an honest to God, my opinion. I'm pretty impressed with the recovery speed. This machine it's decent. I mean, recovery speed to me is really important, and this machine has got recovery speed. So we're going to keep roaming around. I'd like to find something old, just to say we found something really old and cool with the machine. But on these house sites, they're real trashy, and you may think that you can roll up to any old house site and you're just going to clean up. So if you're a beginner, just let me say, a lot of times you'll hit these old home sites and you really won't find much. It's either under the trash, or the people were so poor they didn't even have anything to lose. So don't always get excited because you get access to an old house site. Old stuff's there, but you don't always get it. But we're going to keep looking around, see what we can find. All right, we got another signal. It's coming up on 70 on your BDI number. So remember, we're getting closer to pennies. That's a little low for a penny. Could be something else. Could be another one of those common zinc pennies that's corroding. But the important thing is we got the signal both directions. So we're going to pinpoint. And should be right here. Sounds like I moved it. Yeah, we got it out of the ground, so we'll just speed things along here. So it's in this plug. I feel something. All right, so what we have is this is a wad of aluminum foil, and given how big it is and how tightly it's compacted, it's going to give you a higher reading. Even though we have foil on, but as large as it is, the numbers went higher into the penny range. But the key takeaway here is you got the signal both directions. The machine's telling you there's something down there that you want to know about, given our discrimination settings. So now you'll notice that we got the higher tone, so we're up in the upper range. It's 79. Starting to look like a coin. Could be a copper jacketed bullet because that has copper. It's just like a penny. I'm not going to pinpoint, I'm just doing the X. You can also pinpoint by narrowing down how close together those beeps are. Alright, so we got it up in the plug. Not very big. All right, so this is part of an old window screen. So this is some pretty thick aluminum. It's going to read high. You'll dig lots of trash. You just got to keep going. Don't get discouraged. All right, so we got an 81 here, both directions. But you see how far I can get that. So even though it reads like a coin, it seems to me, I think it's too big. But that's a high tone. This is probably going to be a higher conductive something or other. So as big as it is, I'm going to say it's going to be about right here. All right, so we're getting on down there now. It's a good example of. So you can see how deep this thing's getting with this 11-inch coil. We're about to bury the pinpointer in this hole. Well, that's interesting. This is, I can already read it's patented 1885. It's got some graduations on it. I don't know what we're looking at here. So when you get something like this, it's kind of made out of brass and it's flattened, it's going to show up as a larger target, and it's going to be on the higher end of your VDI numbers. I don't know if this is a smashed clock, maybe clock housing. I don't know if that'll show up on video. You can see that whatever that is. I don't know. It could be a gauge housing. We'll probably clean this up. This might be something kind of cool. All right, so we got 78. That's pretty set on 78. That's usually like a copper penny, the older ones that aren't clad. We're not going to do much pinpoint. Once you get used to these, you'll get good at pinpointing, and you probably won't use the button as much. And since y'all have already seen how it works, we're just going to start popping out some plugs and finding some stuff. So it's still in the hole. Let's just see what's down here. See if I can get it with this thing. Oh, here we go. Tin can smashed, which means, for those that are just getting into this, and fire ants too, so if you're in Texas, you got to watch for those little bastards. So a can, if it's smashed, will a lot of times read like a penny. You're just going to have to dig them. One thing you can do to, if you're in a real trashy spot, is just go by the size, because a can will make a big footprint on your audio, so you'll get to where you can tell the size of the object too. Let me get out of these fire ants. All right, we're going with the 72 on this one. That's a nice small signal. It'll still be garbage, but got the tone in both directions. May have moved it. All right, so on this, I'm going to go with an older lipstick tube. So now we're getting some older stuff. Okay. All right, so we got a 77, 78. I don't know if that's going to show up on video with the sun beating down on us. See how tight that swing is? That's because I've just about got it pinpointed. All right, got it out of the ground. Oh, what do we got here? Another tin can. Oh, what's this? Something different. Does this see it? It looks like a center cap to something. It's got the, probably was a self-adhesive back, center cap to an old mag or something. It says something, and we'll have to clean it up. Wait, we can see it. Ultra, whatever that is. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. In case you didn't notice, we had to switch to iPhones because the GoPro died, and I think my phone's getting full. But I wanted to show y'all, we didn't find anything great, but it's no fault of the machine. That's just the nature of house sites. And we got a couple of shotgun shells. Some of this we dug real quick off camera just to see how many targets we could get. The usual suspects, can slaw, screen parts. This is kind of old. That's from the house site. That's going to be a lipstick tube, and we still haven't decided if this is part of an old clock housing because of the graduated circles here, and it looks like where you adjust the speed right there if you want to speed it up or slow it down. But all in all, this machine performed just like it should. All right, so let's just do a quick review on what we covered today. I just want to touch on the things that I think is important for a beginner, because I feel like if you're here watching this, you're either a beginner or an intermediate. So the recovery speed on this machine is, for the price point, is I think it's great. So as of this filming, on Amazon you can get these for, I thought I saw them listed for $149, but it's $40 off. There was another listing for $139, $30 off, so roughly $110. You get the machine, the 11-inch coil, you saw the headphones, the backpack, and you got a nice hand digger. So with the recovery speed being mentioned, that is key to keeping you from getting discouraged in the beginning, because if you got a machine that's not recovering fast, you're going to miss stuff. It's going to be really hard to pinpoint. So you need to get that down in the beginning quick. Pinpoint, and the tighter the swing and the double beep, that's what's important. Also, we didn't mention it, but if you're a beginner and you feel like you're getting stuck, or you're an intermediate and you just want some confirmation you're doing things right, I would recommend seeking out your local metal detecting club, because you can always go to a meeting. You don't have to pay. Most clubs you don't have to pay just to go to a meeting. You just go in there and ask for help. Somebody will help you in these meetings. And if you are in the Fort Worth area, we're Cowtown. So if you ever want to come to one of our meetings, we meet the third Thursday every month, 7 p.m. You can come meet me or anyone you've seen in my videos. 95% of those people are club members. So if you're in our area, you come and see us. We'll help you get started. And honestly, that's a decent machine for the price point. So we're going to leave you with that, and we will. One thing I did want to add is, if you're looking at this stuff, off camera, we still did some detecting with our Equinox and a Manicore. We didn't get nothing else any better. It's just the sight. So it's always location, location, location. You've heard that plenty of times. So the better place you pick, the better your finds are going to be. This is just kind of trashy. You could spend several days here and pick through the trash. You're going to get something good here. But for us to just run through here on one day, just testing machines, you're going to end up with this kind of stuff first. But the Manicore, the Equinox, didn't find anything any different than what we found with this machine. So there you have it. We'll see y'all in the next video.